Um, my normal general line of work is homemaker. I've been at home many years, but my children are all grown at this time. So I'm an empty nester. So it's my husband and I, but I still maintain our home life. That is my current line of work. However, I do work as an administrative assistant at a youth program in Long Beach, and so I work there part-time, helping families and with programs such as rental assistance and utility assistance and things like that, and different programs for the youth in Long Beach. We have a gardening program with hydroponics and aquaponics, and so that's pretty awesome to teach the youth how to garden and things like that. So that's currently what I'm doing, in addition to any thespian work that's available. But that's it. So my best attribute, from what I've been told, is my positive attitude and demeanor. I think that most people always comment on that. You're always so happy, you're always so upbeat, you're also joyful. And a lot of times I say, well, that's attributed to what you name a person. I think what you name someone, you truly become. Not that there's a lot of things to necessarily be joyful about, but I tend to find the happiness in just who I am, and that just comes out in how I address people and how I deal with life. So I think that's my best attribute. Now, I know that I just said I'm a joyful person, and I am, but I really am tired of people asking me how I'm doing. In this state that we're in, it's difficult to answer that question if you don't have a lot of time to really hear the answer. I think a lot of mental health issues come up because people ask that question, but they genuinely don't take the time to hear people out. We don't have an outlet to really express how we're doing. We've experienced a lot of scary things going on lately, and it's not really letting up. You know, it lets up just enough, and then it brings us back in like a wave at the beach, you know, and it's rough. So if people would stop asking me how I'm doing, if they're not really wanting to hear it, I'd be better off with just a hello. I am completely done and over with the biased, I don't even know the words I want to say about media. Just, I'm aggravated. Everything you hear about is always one tone all the time. You cannot get any type of variety or other opinions or truths. Everything is always just so biased with the media, and you just can't always believe what you hear anymore. I feel like we're in a bubble sometimes, and you're only getting one side of the story, and you're not allowed to express anything differently. So for me, I'm totally over the media. The worst thing. I would like to start off with saying what the best thing is, and then go into the worst, because they're kind of tied together, if that's okay. The best thing about being a female, for me, is the choice of being a mother. When I made that choice to be a mother, to carry someone's life in my womb, to give them the opportunity to breathe life and live life and nurture them with my physical body to preserve their life, was the greatest experience for me to be a mother. And I've done that for 3 people. And it has been beautiful. That's something that men can't do. And the women that get to experience that, it's just phenomenal. The pain of bringing them into the world and all of that is still beautiful, beautiful to be a woman. Which also brings me to the worst part for me, for being a mother, is the pain of watching your children suffer, whether it's through mental illness or drug addiction or breakups or anything, because you've bonded with that person and they're such a part of you, and you're a part of them because your souls are knit together, because you carried that soul in your body. Sometimes the hardest part about being a woman is being a mom. because you care so much and you want so much for those people, and they have no idea how hard it is for you as a mom, as a woman, as a caregiver, to watch them struggle. So for me, that is the best and the worst of being a woman. Wow, who? Well, there's two who's for me. The first, of course, is my mother. She's been one of the closest people to me in my entire life, and a constant in my life. I speak to her every day. Every day, my mom calls me just to say, I want to hear your voice, just to tell me, you know, what's going on in her life. And she's always been my source of faith. She's been my role model. She has always been a constant pillar in my life. And then second, the only other person that I've let my hair down and I've been my total raw self with is my husband. And we dream together and we grow together, and he's been in my life over 25 years, and he's my best friend. And when we're hurt, when I'm hurt, he's hurt. When I'm upset, he's upset. He's my warrior. We share each other's visions and goals. We sharpen each other with our wit and imagination to grow. We reel each other in. We ebb and flow. And I love the fact that we grow together and not apart. We're always entangled in each other's lives. And so he's my best friend. He's my life. And I love him dearly. So those are the two most influential people in my life. My biggest challenge in life in general, I think, is just constantly finding purpose, you know? Because when my children were small, my purpose was to be a good mom. And now that they're adults and they don't necessarily need me as much, my next part of life is, okay, what do I do now? You know, at this age and state of my life, I just want to find clarity and purpose and meaning. And that's a challenge, you know. A lot of times, most things are geared towards the younger adults, or whether you're educated in a certain field. And so I find myself in flux and in limbo, and sometimes just wondering, where do I fit in society, or in general, or where is life going to take me, not only in the next 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, where will I be? So I'm really struggling with purpose right now. You know, when you get to this age, there's a lot of lessons that you learn. When you were younger, you just kind of flew by the seat of your pants. But I'm trying to think the greatest lesson. I think the greatest lesson I've learned in life is to be patient. Patience is a virtue. It really is. You know, there's times when I think I want to say something, I have the answer, but I better just take my time and really see if I know what's going on, or don't be in such a hurry to do this or that, because sometimes when you wait, great things happen. So I learned to be patient with people, you know. There's been times when you want to blow that horn and tell people to hurry up, and you never know what that person is going through. You save yourself a lot of heartache and a lot of drama and a lot of stress if you're patient. A lot of arguments are saved when you're patient, because you're hearing people out before you take that answer and respond. So I'm learning just have a lot of patience. What word best describes me? I'll just say joyful. Uncertain. There's a lot of things that are uncertain in the world now. Uncertain about so many things. Uncertain if the earth is round or flat. Uncertain if that's a male or a female. Uncertain about what's right and what's wrong. Uncertain if I'll be canceled if I offend you accidentally. So many uncertainties. Uncertain if your agenda is for my cause or not. uncertain about, will our finances be good today or tomorrow? There's so many uncertainties in the world today. And yet, there's room to smile for every small detail. We're certain the sun will shine. We're certain that there's love to be found. And yet, the bigger picture is uncertainty for me. I want to see an optimistic future in our country. I want to. And for my sake and for my children's sake and my grandchildren's sake, I have to see an optimistic future in our country. There's a saying in the Bible that a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. And in this country, I see a lot of double talk, double standards. So it's hard to say if this country will have an optimistic future. We've had a very troubled past with this pandemic and the things that have affected us. And I'm not sure how things are going to be in the future, but I am hopeful for an optimistic future, but there is no guarantee. My idea of a perfect mate. Well, my idea of a perfect mate is someone who is honest with you, even if it hurts. Tell me if my blush is too loud or my breath isn't quite right. Tell me the truth so I can adjust myself, so I can greet the world and with my head up high. Also, tell me if I'm beautiful. Tell me that you love me. Tell me how you really feel. Don't hold back, so that when I'm with you, I can say, hey, this guy is satisfied with me. That's my mate, one who's honest no matter what. And also an ideal mate is one who's goal-oriented. I'm not interested in someone who has, no dreams and ambitions, because that pushes me to have dreams and ambitions. So I like that. That's an ideal mate. And someone who's always ever learning, not just stuck in, that's the way my family did it and that's the way I'm going to do it, but searching and growing and showing me new ways to be. That's what keeps me intrigued and motivated. So someone who's, honest, tells me how they feel, and, is stable as well and growing. So for me, that's the ideal mate, perfect mate. Enfuego. Wow. I feel that's a powerful word, on fire, right? And for it to be said in Spanish brings passion to me. It's just a beautiful statement in itself. But when something's on fire, that means that it's engulfing whatever's in that moment, and it's not being put out. It's consuming. So for me, it's strength and something beautiful, On fire just means you just have so much going for you, and you're determined. Like a fire, once it gets started, it is unquenchable, and it's reaching its goal, which is to knock out any competition in its way. So I love the term. There's no denying it. There's no denying the fire, the passion, the determination when you hear the word Enfuego. I just have nothing but respect for it. Have I ever stolen anything and gotten away with it? Yes, I have. Actually, what I stole was something from my husband. He was my boyfriend at the time, and we were dating. And we went out with some friends, and he got drunk. And we were driving home, and he was being quite belligerent towards me. And he was rude to me. But yet, when my friend spoke to him, he was real polite to her. So I said, that's interesting. And when he stumbled out the car, some money fell out of his pocket, like a few $100s. So I politely picked it up and put it in my pocket. And when he came to himself, he said, "Oh, my money's missing." And I was like, "Oh, your money's missing." So I never gave him his money. I kept his money because I felt I deserved it for the treatment he gave me, and I got away with it. Sorry, honey.